So we're back, guys. Week 2.
Yep. Today is the day for the final lift. More lift bags available.
Will it get back in the water?
Leave a comment. Do you reckon this is going to work successfully or non-successfully? Leave the comment now and then check out the rest of the video.
So we got here early again today, so there's no tractor just yet. So we're gonna have a coffee and we're gonna just wait and see what happens. High tide is at 1 o'clock
I think today. Yep.
So
we've got a few hours ahead of us.
There's a few things that need to be doing. If this was my boat, I would have been here.
It would have been done last night.
But anyways, that doesn't matter. We're gonna hopefully get it back in the water today, so stay tuned, guys. If you missed last week's video, we started telling the story of how our friend's boat broke its mooring and ended up on the beach in Sosua. In the video, you saw that they'd managed to turn the boat around so the stern was facing the water. Our opinion is it should have been the other way around, but it is what it is. So last night at 1:45, the tide was actually higher than the daytime tide. So you can see the tide actually came all the way up to basically here. So the high tide today at 1 o'clock isn't going to be as high as that, but it should be. But that means that all this sand has come back in and kind of suctioned the boat back down. Those pieces of wood are still underneath it. How successful they were, I'm not really sure. That's where the crack is under there. It doesn't look any worse than it did yesterday, but it still has to go up and over these rocks down here. So that's going to be the worst part. Once the keel kind of goes back over and drops down, the front of the boat is going to be a bit touchy. I'm going to go over to the other side. So once the keel drops down, it'll be this section in here that we kind of need to protect a little bit. So I don't know if we're going to try and put some cushioning there, some planks of wood, anything really. Maybe some of the smaller lift bags can go there so that when the keel drops down past those rocks, we don't get a massive void. So fingers crossed. All right, so we came back day 2 to try and get the boat back in the water, but unfortunately
there's no equipment has arrived, so we're still waiting on more lift bags, and the tractor hasn't been called in because the lift bags aren't here, the crash pump also isn't here, and the tide is supposed to be high in about an hour's time. So it looks like this is a cancel for today.
Yeah.
As soon as it goes back in, we'll film it.
All right, so the cycle continues. Day 3, we were told it wasn't going to happen today because they were waiting for more lift bags and more supplies.
So we returned the rental car yesterday.
So yeah, we returned the rental car, and we got a message at 9:15 this morning saying it is happening. We got the supplies. The tractor is coming. It's happening. Yeah. So we managed to get a rental car from our friend Beards, and we're en route. So we should be there in about an hour and a half. And hopefully we're there in time, but high tide's not until 1:30.
About 1:30, closer to 2 maybe even.
Yeah, so we should be there in more than enough time to see the palava that's going to happen. So fingers crossed everything goes well. Go, go, go.
Go.
Alright, so they put some tires and a piece of wood along the area in front of the keel, but I don't think that's good enough.
Captain's plan's already put more holes in it.
Yeah. Alright, so it's not looking good either for today. So maybe it's another waste of a trip. But they have moved it back about 4 feet, so it's even closer to these rocks that are sat back here now. So when it's a high tide this evening, which is a bigger tide than during the day, it could be bad news. I put these logs underneath it here. I got that clip earlier, but you can see water dripping out of the boat. That's a massive hole now. They had to wait for high tide. That's right on the water line, so it could be okay when, but no, look, it's completely come apart. So the little planks that they put under there, I don't reckon they were enough. The bigger logs, maybe, but that puts too much pressure on the hull. Why are you shaking your head?
Because this has been done completely wrong. Anyone that knows any principles of physics, a round log on an already compromised, weakened fiberglass hull with 15 tons of weight, that's 33,000 pounds. What's it going to do? It's going to push it in and crack it and break it even more, and that's exactly what's happened already. This boat was supposed to be moved tomorrow. As you know, because we just said about it in the car, we've been rushed out here today, and they've done all this prep without us being here, without getting more lift bags that it can roll on air, which obviously disperses the weight and the pressure. These logs are like a point.
It's got a massive hole now there.
I'm not sure if this boat's going to survive.
You want?
I just look see how much worse it's
I think
getting.
it's better lift it a little bit more now and put more support.
Find out where the bulkheads are. You know where the bulkheads are? Get all the car tires, lift it, get the car tires in the position where is the bulkheads, like 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath, and then the weight back onto the bulkhead.
On the key?
No. The key. You make a stack.
Oh, okay.
Here, and then find the position where is the strong place. No? Yeah. What? It's on the bulkhead, the strongest place on the.
That's for all the weight.
Yeah, exactly. But these places do not have a bulkhead.
But we don't gonna lift it now.
The machine's gone.
No, but I can call him. We're gonna turn.
All right, still on day 3. As you know, we got here to find that some of the boys had put logs underneath. And obviously, if you know anything about the structure of a vessel, there's only certain points that are actually reinforced. Otherwise, the fiberglass is only about 1/4 of an inch thick. This is not on a bulkhead, and they tried to push it, so it's pushed in the fiberglass and made even more damage. So we've had to sit down with the owner and with the captain and discussed a few ideas. I've voiced my opinion that really this is not the way to go. This is going to rip the boat apart. So what's going to happen now is this log's going to be removed with airbags. We're not going to do it. Someone else is going to come and do it because they need the scuba tanks to fill them up. So the logs are going to be removed. The owner of the vessel and the captain of the vessel, they're going to go around and start finding big tires and inner tubes from like tractors, large heavy lifting equipment, that sort of stuff, that can be placed under the boat. So we distribute the weight, and it's something that it could actually be slid on to get it closer to the water's edge. Also the inner tubes from the tires and the lift bags that they have. They're struggling to get more industrial type lift bags, so they've only got little small things around here. So the inner tubes from the truck tires or JCB tires can be used to lift and maneuver things as well. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. We're going to go off and see if we can arrange a crash pump, because to get this vessel from here, if you look in the background over there, Ocean World Marina is just over there. It should only take about an hour and a half to motor across there, but we're going to need a crash pump on board. So any water that's coming inside obviously needs to be evacuated just as quickly as it's coming in. So we've all got our jobs. We're going to go off and find the equipment we need, and we're going to come back tomorrow morning, spend the morning preparing the vessel, and then a push in the afternoon. This thing's got to come off the beach because the government here is starting to get a bit antsy and they want it gone or they'll remove it.
Day 4.
Day 4, we're on the road, on the way back down. They're nearly there. We've done our part of the job this morning. We picked up a crash pump. It's a manual one. Thank you so much, Conrad and Meredith. That's fantastic of you. Yeah, Let's get down there and see what she looks like. Hopefully they got that log out yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have.
Well,
maybe.
Fingers crossed that they did that.
How many times have I done that in this past week?
So yeah, let's get down to the boat. Hopefully all that other equipment is there. We were told yesterday it was, or should be this first thing this morning, and see what we can get done today.
Driver Davy.
Da, 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 da. Always on the road, as Mum would say.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. Where's 2? There's 2. There's 10.
Alright, so they have moved it already this morning, and now it's sat right on the rocks. There's still logs underneath it, guys, so they didn't take those out. It doesn't look like there's any big tires under there. That's a hole. That's a big hole. So they didn't wait for high tide again. They just tried to push it this morning with 2 tractors. And no bueno. This is the manual Edison water pump we borrowed. It can move 1,800 gallons of water per hour.
It's a show. Okay, one of my points of concern here, just one of them by the way, is the fact that when this boat goes backwards and across, you can see we've just arrived here this morning by the way, and you can see that the vessel has now been moved down the beach about another 5 meters. So this is now already point of no return. They didn't do the JCB tires I talked about. They just used this one lift bag, which isn't even a lift bag, it's actually a banana boat. But my point of concern is, because this keel is not counterweighted, there's nothing hanging from the mast to counterweight this, as the mast is compromised. Personally would have fixed the mast first and then tried this, but anyway. So the way they're looking at doing it is pushing it back in using logs, roll bags, some tires, 2 tractors. But my concern is here, when the weight of this keel goes off the edge, I'm concerned about it hitting here in the front of the vessel. There was protection on it yesterday, someone's taken it off, I'm not sure why. Anyway, let's see what they're doing on the other side. Okay, so over here, so since they moved this morning before we arrived, unfortunately it is sitting on the rocks again on this side. They're just about to put the inflatable underneath to lift it back up, and then I believe they're going to attempt to push it. I believe this hull's going to get even more compromised. Luckily there's a crash pump on board. Let's hope it's enough to keep up. So there's no JCB tires and inner tubes here like we discussed yesterday. There was one large truck tire, but that's gone on the tractor for pushing. Alright, these guys are getting excited really quick and doing everything way too fast in my opinion. Stop! Someone needs to direct this show. Oh my God, no way! right, get the f on the boat. Everybody get on it. How much water is coming in? That's the question.
All right, so we got 2 tractors, an empty beach, some lift bags, those stupid wooden logs, and the rocks that they pushed it over. I don't know how good it'll be out there, but this is definitely the area it was pushed over top of.
All right, not sure if there's too much wind for this, but anyway, myself and Antonio, we're going to head out to the boat. It's on a mooring, so we're going to go and check the condition. We've spoken to the captain on board. He said it doesn't look like it's taking on too much water, so we're going to go and assess it on the mooring here and then make the decision, probably move it across to Puerto Plata Ocean World Marina. Fingers crossed. I miss this beautiful colored water where we're staying in Lupron. It's beautiful. Hola, Captain.
Hey, hello.
Where we're staying in Lupron, it is beautiful. But of course, being in the mangroves, we don't get to wake up to this every morning. This is beautiful here. Water line's still looking pretty good at the moment. See, they've got the crash pump working, some buckets coming off the side. Some of this water could have already been previously inside because above the water line was also compromised while it was on the beach. So on high tide it would have taken on some water, but I'm sure there's got to be something coming in now as well. Let's just hope it's an amount that can be kept up with just to get this boat out of the water. El Capitano, how's it going?
It's going down the water.
It's going down, not going up.
Was till the floor.
Yeah.
Because when the boat was on the side,
it would have taken
the water
some of the
was
water.
there, so we feel everything.
Yeah.
Now we're that deep.
Yeah, okay.
Nícalo, pero para mí que te va a venir con la vaina al hombro. Pégalo. Así.
Woohoo!
Ahí va a salir. Me va a poner.
Okay, just a quick update here. I don't have much room on the SD card, but things are getting worse, not better at the moment. There's a lot of water coming in. I just found a couple of cracks, but unfortunately more cracks are developing by the second. The hand pump had a slight issue, being a wooden handle, kind of gave way a little bit on the end. So we have now reverted to a mop handle, which is functioning. So that is functioning, and everybody using buckets. So let me take you downstairs and show you how much water is inside now. So water level has come back up. The big area that I found problems in here, I've wedged in everything as hard as I can against those new and growing cracks. So the flow has slightly stemmed. I see it going slower here. We also had another place up here which is a very small slow. Okay, that seems to still be small and slow there by the bulkhead. A gasoline pump is apparently now just been discovered in Sosua, so that's en route as well. So as long as we can keep up with this till the gasoline pump comes, then we can get this boat across the ocean well. Alright, so we have got a gasoline driven pump delivered to the boat now. Get some gasoline in it and fingers crossed this thing's running. Yo! Yo! Bien. Now that's what we call water moving. Okay, so another crash pump's on board. We tried to stop everything as much as possible. I'm going to be heading back to the beach, find Erica. We got a car here. They got 5 guys, the big crash pump, the hand pump, and a towboat to get them across to Puerto Plata Ocean World Marina. So we will drive around there. We'll meet them at the facility, grab the lines, and get this boat hauled out and somewhere safe on land. Good luck! Don't forget your life jacket! All right, I'm back on the beach. The tow apparently, so they're going to get plenty of fuel both for the crash pump. Get my words tied up there, aren't I? Yeah, the crash pump and also for the towboat, because we're not sure if the engine's compromised. Probably got pretty wet doing that. So we're going to tow it across the ocean world. The captain of the small boat reckons it'll take approximately 3 hours, so we got a bit of time because it'll only take us about 1 hour to drive there. So I think we go for a spot of lunch, wish these boys a bit of luck, and we'll go meet them out the haul-out facility.
Okay, so we've been waiting at Ocean World Marina for the boat to come, and we just got a phone call that it's at Puerto Plata Port.
Apparently the boat has sunk, possibly even it was a bit of a chaos phone call, possibly even on the rocks. We're not 100% sure, but it looks like the vessel may have been lost, probably due to that damage of putting it in the water as it was done. The way it was forced off the beach was yeah, just ridiculous. You saw it yourself, guys. A certain person had control and it wasn't the owner.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, let's drive. It's about a 16-minute drive from here down to the main port of Puerto Plata. This is where the fishing boats and also some of the cruise ships come into.
Yep.
So we're going to head down there, find the guys that were on the boat, the captain, and see what we can see. So yeah, let's leave it there and we'll pick up the filming once we get there. Alright, so this wasn't the plan. The vessel made it to as far as Puerto Plata, which is basically 2.5 nautical miles shy of Ocean World Marina, which is out in that direction, literally just around that point there. Unfortunately, they had an issue with the crash pump, and the crash pump apparently sucked up a t-shirt. We did say to clean out the inside. So apparently it sucked up the t-shirt, blocked up the gasoline pump, and then they couldn't keep up with the hand pump. So they pulled in here, tied to the dock. Fire engine was called, but the fire engine didn't get here with a massive pump quick enough, and it went down on the end of the dock. So stand by, guys. We are gonna attempt to either refloat this afternoon. It's getting late in the day. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be, Eric is just telling me it's about 6 o'clock. So it's probably gonna be 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I'll be back here with the camera and we'll find out how that goes. Stand by.